everybody. Today we are going to paint a birch tree forest, one of my favorites, and it's very easy to paint. So just paint along if you can. We start off by taking a fan brush and put cobalt blue and white on it. With crisscross strokes, you can just blend in the white and blue. I have added white to the blue and made it lighter on the right side. Towards the lower side of the skyline, I've taken Hooker's green and a little bit of cadmium yellow medium just to show a gradient, and we show the bushes or the background of the forest. Now once you're done with this, you can mark out the pathway which is in the center of the lower part of the canvas. I have done it with burnt sienna because predominantly the pathway will be made in shades of burnt sienna. And you don't need to follow the same path as in the shape of the pathway. You can use your own. I have taken it very curvy so that the painting looks a little deeper or we can achieve more depth. As you can see, the lower part has a lot of permanent green and less of Hooker's green. And also you can see that I have created a slope towards the center. For the foliage on the trees, I have taken a rough flat brush and I'm just dabbing permanent green and cadmium yellow. And as you can see, this is a little random, but I try to keep the shape of the trees intact. And to make it stand out from the background, I start adding a little more cadmium yellow to this mixture and make it brighter. So do this very delicately. You don't have to press the brush too much. Just delicately dab it on the canvas and you will get an impression. And that's it, what we need for the foliage. You can see that I have added more cadmium yellow to the permanent green, and I add the brighter shade on the top parts of the foliage. And now with a stiff fan brush with the same shade, that is permanent green and cadmium yellow, which kind of becomes a slightly fresh green, I start adding the grasses, which again are as per the shape of the land. That is, we have taken a slope towards the center, towards the pathway. So let your brush move accordingly. So if you make a flat line or a horizontal straight line, then the gradient of the land will look flat and straight. So that is the reason we are taking it in an angle or sloping downwards to show the gradient of the land. And this technique is the best to show the ups and downs of a forest or mountains, and it's the easiest way that you can show the flow of the landmass. Now by this time the top part has dried, So you will need around 5 to 10 minutes for the top area to dry. Only after that do you take a slightly brighter shade, again a little bit of cadmium yellow and permanent green, rather more cadmium yellow if you want a brighter shade, and dab it on the tops of the tree just to show the highlighted area. And as you can see that I'm using the top part of the brush, and because I have used this brush time and again for this kind of foliage, it has kind of opened up and works well for trees. You also might be having some brushes which have kind of you feel that they are spoiled, or can't work anymore, or have become really stiff. You can try and use them for this kind of foliage. Now for demarking the trees, just take black on a pointed round brush or a really thin flat brush, and you can make the tree barks. You can see that we are making the trees which are far off, so the lines are really thin and delicate. Take your time in doing the background. Let the layers dry in between. If you try to kind of put the highlights on a wet background, it will just keep absorbing the color and you will keep wondering why I cannot get the highlights, or why the painting is looking muddy. For the birch trees, I have taken an angular flat brush. You can take a slightly smaller one, and I use the blade of the brush or the edge of the brush to make thinner trees, and then the flatter side of the brush to make thicker trees. So our angular flat brush is always good for making straight lines, or even making various thicknesses by the same brush, and it has a lovely edge, so you can use it for your benefit here. Add in as many trees as you want. Try to avoid overlap of trees. Too much overlapping will not make the painting very clear. So now you can see that I'm adding little highlight on the grass area, just enhancing the color by adding more cadmium yellow to it. You can also add hooker's green and cadmium yellow to the grass, but I kind of find that color a little dull, so I don't use it too much. And now you can see that I'm just highlighting the gradient or the slope of the land. just make the trees in the foreground really prominent and thick so that you can achieve the depth of the painting. Again, for the texture of the trees, I'm going to use an angular flat brush and a pointed round brush. So with the blade of the angular brush, I am just dabbing some darker gray shade. This is for the texture of the birch tree. If you have noticed a photograph or a painting of a birch tree, you will see that it's a lot of peeling of the bark happens, and that's actually the beauty of the tree. So we'll try and show as much texture as we can, and we add a little bit of black here to the already gray background that is there on the tree. All this is just dabbing of the brush, and as you can see, I'm using the front edge or blade of the brush and just dabbing it so that the texture is seen very prominently. As of all the other texture on the tree, I'm going to make it with this pointed round brush, and they are just fine lines and some small black spots. And as you can see, I'm just adding some thicker black lines and thinner black lines. Make it look very natural, don't make it very symmetrical. I've seen especially when I'm teaching, I see people making very symmetrical trees. They look exactly like all the other trees they have made. So try not doing that, because this is very natural and they don't look the same. They all have different processes of growing and aging, so it's going to look different. Now, just to add a little more detail, what I do is I have taken brown, that is burnt sienna, and a little bit of white. You can also use orange, yellow and white to kind of create a similar shade if you want a more brighter bark. So we are just going to show a few areas where the bark has kind of peeled off, and do it as much as or as little as you please. Now we work on the pathway a little bit by giving it a kind of lighter and darker tones, by adding white to burnt sienna, and then by adding a little bit of cadmium yellow to burnt sienna, or only white and burnt sienna would also do the trick. And you can show the pathway a little crooked, and don't make it very structured again because it is in the forest, so it is very and then I have just kind of made another small offshoot to the pathway which kind of goes away into the wilderness. You can create it anywhere, it is not required to just create it here, but keep in mind the slope of the land that you have made. According to that you can make your own pathway, and just highlight with a very bright green in a few areas to create that light effect. Now with another fan brush and with permanent green and cadmium yellow, just add a little foliage on the top part, otherwise the painting is going to look very stark. So we add a lot of foliage on the top area. Of course we let the sky show off a little, and give highlights with cadmium yellow and green. You can also add a little bit of white to cadmium yellow and green if you want to make it brighter. I have not done that. So, and yes, this is all that we can do. You can go in more on the detailing of the trees or the grasses. You can put in more grasses, pebbles, rocks. A lot can be done. So a lot of possibilities, but I'm going to end this painting here, and hope you all have enjoyed painting this. If you have any questions or queries, or if you feel you can't work on an area in the painting, you can please put in your questions in the comment sections and I will try and answer. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial.